make money. Appear offline doesn't work. I'm fucking offline. No, they're joining through recent players. Look here. Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not fucking stop it. So stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about. I'm banning anybody trying to give me advice. Real talk.
And these people never improve.
For those, sometimes they do. It's a tragedy because
it is.
With Jordie, it seems like he's getting better and then things get worse. The point he's making is, what he's trying to say is, she'll cry over anything. He's being completely dismissive of her. That's the point.
So after seeing that, I decided to check on his stream, and I've tuned in a couple times now. It is probably one of the saddest fucking places on Twitch.
This is a story about a man named Wings of Redemption, or better yet known by his real name as Jordie McCratty Jordan. A 35-year-old Call of Duty YouTuber who has been on the platform of YouTube since the beginning and can even be considered as a pioneer of gaming commentary.
And I'm back, YouTubers, with another commentary for Persona Gaming.
But before we get into the story of his career nowadays, let's rewind the tape to the beginning of this story. No, farther. No, farther. A little bit more. Okay. Oh, a bit too much. Let's go forward a bit. Ah, there we go. Perfect. When the word infamy comes to mind, you usually associate it with someone who has been on the height of their career and has rapidly reached rock bottom. But infamy comes in many shapes and sizes. And for this particular case, it came in a pretty big size. At the time of YouTube's genesis, channels like Wings of Redemption had no competition. No competitors means it was a free market. Because of this, he became very popular amongst the Call of Duty community. At the time, Call of Duty was the most popular franchise, which means its growth would not only impact the gaming sphere, but also commentary YouTube. This would skyrocket Jordie's channel, quickly making him a popular figure within not only the gaming sphere, but YouTube as a whole, receiving shoutouts from popular Call of Duty commentators, getting contracts with then active Machinima, and even reaching 100,000 subscribers in 2010. He even collaborated with YouTubers like Woody's Gamertag and FPS Kyle. Together they would launch the Painkiller Already podcast. This podcast would go on to be very popular. In a small amount of time, Jordie managed to achieve things that others wish they could have. He was at the top of his game for a while, and the end was nowhere in sight for him. Except, it was. Because this would be his peak. A peak that he would never see again. The year is 2011. Things would take a change for Wings' career during a specific episode of the PKA podcast where guest Pro Syndicate would be disrespected by Jordie for his skills at Call of Duty Zombies, saying things like he didn't think Syndicate is all that good at Call of Duty because he specialized in the Zombies game mode. He would then later call him out on a 1v1 deathmatch, which Syndicate accepted. This one moment would go on to change Wings' career for the rest of his life. Fast forward to the day of the match, and Syndicate was way ahead of Jordie, the outcome being pretty obvious that Syndicate would be the winner. Wings did not like this, and would go on to make history with this next clip. Albeit, not good history.
Game? Wings, did you spawn in?
I broke my controller.
You broke your controller?
Yeah, keep fucking laughing, you fucking...
Oh, Wings, I think you are.
After the disastrous match, Jordie tried to bribe Syndicate where they'd each split the money for another matchup if Syndicate threw the rematch. Syndicate would become fed up with Jordie, post the screenshot online, and then block him, further worsening Jordie's public image. This would not be the last of Wings' controversies, because in 2013, the PKA would arrange a month-long bootcamp program to help Jordie lose weight. They would even go as far as to cook his food for him. But this would also spell disaster, as Jordie wanting to leave only a week into the program. Luckily, he stayed and finished the month-long bootcamp, losing a combined total of 40 pounds, which he immediately gained as soon as the bootcamp was over. Nice fucking job! But this wouldn't be the breaking point for his friends trying to support him. In late 2013, the members of the PKA podcast would arrange a survival trip that they would go on together with Jordie, where they would camp out and survive with only the necessary supplies.
But just once.
Remember when
You're all right.
Remember when we were doing the first survival trip, and Joe Lozon asked Wings, like, "All right, what do you think the chances you die on this trip are?"
I do remember that.
He's like, 30%.
This would be another point of downfall for Wings.
Said the guy who skipped his camping trip. Look here. If you ever expected a 425-pound man to go into the woods for 5 days, 10-mile hike into the woods for 5 days, live off the land, build his own shelter during a rainy period while it was unseasonably cold, you're a fucking idiot. Real talk, you're a fucking idiot.
After seeming interested in the idea, he would ultimately back out last minute and never even had plans to camp with them from the start. This would be the last straw after one of the members drove 3 hours to the location and called Jordie only to find out that he wasn't going.
I set out on this quite long drive. I'm going to say it's 4.5, 5.5 hours from where I lived at the time to where we're doing this thing. So if I leave the night before, I'm going to get a motel room in the area 30 minutes from the meetup location, and that way I don't have to drive, early in the morning. I don't want to leave my house at 5 a.m., get there at 10 a.m., and be already just kind of out of it before we begin hiking and surviving and such. So I'm driving in the night before, and I think to myself, hey, let me give old Wings a call, make sure we're all good to go here, because it's Wings. Call him up, say, hey, man, and get ready to do this thing. I'm driving in now, about 3 hours from the place. What are you up to? You could if you left right now, you'd be here around 11, and you could share this motel room with me. I could get a room with 2 beds or so. He's like, I'm not going. What? What do you mean? I'm not coming. When were you going to tell me? I'm telling you right now. What the? So I call. I text Woody. I'm like, he's not fucking going. He's not fucking going. And so Woody gets on the phone with him. Woody tries to talk. And I'm thinking, like, Woody's going to talk him into this. I'm still driving with this idea. Woody will talk him into this. Woody's a great motivational speaker when he needs to be. And I'm sure Woody was filling him with
compilations of me telling Wings, like, if you want to be an extraordinary person, you have to do extraordinary things.
Be a winner, not a loser. Be a doer, not a don'ter.
Very Henry Rollins-esque, yeah.
Yeah, this sort of talk, and he just doesn't fucking come. He just doesn't fucking come. And it's now it's just me and Woody in the woods.
Finally, fed up with Jordie, he was kicked off the Painkiller Already podcast permanently, cutting off another stream of revenue that Jordie would have been receiving. After this incident, Jordie's career would not only take a nosedive, but would also plummet even deeper. After being booted from the PKA podcast, Jordie would desperately attempt to find success on YouTube, trying anything to recapture his old flame. He would begin making videos on any possible topics that he could. He even went as far as to make a commentary video on the ever-infamous Christian in 2014 after having pepper sprayed a GameStop employee. A discussion for another time, but you can kind of see that infamous meets infamous in a way. Ultimately, this would net him very little in terms of views, ad revenue, or even growth. After many failed attempts, he would start a podcast with other washed-up Call of Duty players. This wouldn't get very far due to every member of the podcast focusing on their own endeavors, or just being drunk, high, lazy, or a combination of all three. The show would end only after 89 episodes. Things would get worse for Jordie, unfortunately. In 2016, Jordie would upload a very emotional and teary video in which he would explain that his girlfriend at the time broke up with him. This would further worsen his depression and worsen his motivation for YouTube. Since YouTube wasn't working out, Jordie would eventually focus on Twitch streaming since it required less effort, stating that he could just stream and not have to worry about editing. Twitch was going a bit better for him than YouTube did, netting him more money faster. But it would quickly become more of a curse than a blessing for Jordie. It would quickly show that due to his lack of inability to edit his streams, cracks would start to show in both his skill level at gaming being subpar and his freaking freakouts and meltdowns on stream, quickly showing how poor of a sport he was when it came to losing in Call of Duty or any game for that matter.
I'll sit still.
Alright guys, play nice.
This would open up a gateway to a whole new problem. A problem that persisted even to this day. The mass trolling would start a new chapter in Jordie's career. A chapter of infamy. In 2017, during a session of Call of Duty World War II, Jordie would suffer another breakdown because of a viewer stream sniping him. This would ultimately lead to another one of his infamous moments on the internet.
Ability to make money. Appear offline doesn't work. I'm fucking offline. No, they're joining through recent players. Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not fucking stop it. So stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about.
This would open the floodgates for a ton of highlights channels to re-upload clips of Jordie and his many breakdowns. The trolling worsened and more troll channels began popping up on YouTube, destroying Jordie's hope for returning on the platform. But not all was bad for Jordie. He managed to get a weight loss surgery which helped him lose 100 pounds. I say lose because there's no defining evidence that he actually lost 100 pounds because he would refuse to get on a scale. So we're just gonna have to go with his word, which, I mean, isn't that good. He claimed that he was trying to raise enough to have a choice to have it done in Mexico or America, and seemingly was leaning towards doing it in America. This would spark some skepticism in which viewers would believe that he was lying about his weight loss and his surgery. But this would be laid to rest when Jordie showed a picture of him sitting on a hospital bed in Mexico to prove it. All seemed alright and great, right? Well, this would spark another controversy. It was revealed that he did it in Mexico, as many believe that it costed less than a third less than getting it done in America and saw it as him trying to pocket the money. This claim would worsen further when it was revealed that Jordie bought a 2014 V6 Mustang with some of his donation money. This would further worsen the trolling, since now people felt less sympathy towards Jordie with no visible end in sight. Many claimed that the surgery did nothing to help him at all, and people would compare pictures of before and after that shows that he has regained seemingly all the weight back, if not more. In 2020, Jordie would be married. Almost instantly, people began to accuse him of being neglectful to his wife and supposedly abusive. His wife was also on the receiving end of criticism when rumors were spread that she was flirting with Jordie's Twitch moderators. God, this shit gets worse and worse, eh? In 2021, Sean Ranklin, a popular channel that would make various clips on Jordie, would upload a video where Jordie's wife was anxious and wanted to talk to him about her anxiety over a possibly bad medical test result. Jordie would be very neglectful of her and continue streaming. He would even respond with whatever while she was talking to him.
Whatever.
In July of 2020, Jordie would private all of his videos on YouTube. According to Jordie himself, he did this because the trolls were using footage for more troll content and troll videos, and he previously explained that doing YouTube would be fruitful at this point. Oh man, I can't see that claim coming back to bite him in the ass. However, on July 26, 2021, Jordie made a tweet saying that his Twitch partnership was revoked for Exhibit D of the content guidelines due to troll mass reporting him. Because of this, he returned back to YouTube and even unprivated most of his videos, and has since uploaded and streamed on a consistent basis, but with middling views. Speaking of middling and tiny, in August of 2021, his private photos would leak online.
I hadn't seen his reaction to it yet. When I saw him sort of like being more playful about it and being silly about it, I loosened my thought process about it. But like, I found out about it while I was streaming, and they were like, "Have you seen Wings' dick?" And like, there's enough of them saying it that I knew it was real, but I was just trying to ignore it. I was like, anyway, so we're gonna play a little poker.
Let's just say that he's cursed in more than one way. Speaking of cursed, someone would go even as far as to impersonate the guy on TikTok and started harassing other users, mainly females, as well as making sexist and pedophilic comments towards them. A woman on Twitter who was unaware of who Jordie was or the trolling shared a screen cap of the harassment. This resulted in the police showing up to Jordie's house at 3 AM, showing the screen caps of the comments by the troll. An argument between Jordie and the officer ensued, with the officer calling Jordie a liar straight to his face. They almost arrested him and took him to jail before he finally managed to convince them the truth.
Dog, Jake, it's just fucked up, man. It's like, all I do is fuck... Like, I'm going through a period of depression right now. And it's like this guy, like Josh Pilecki. You want to make fun? I got 134 viewers right now. Do you feel good about yourself? Yeah, the cops showed up at my fucking house at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've had the cops called to my house 4 times in the last 2 months. I've had 2 for fucking Bongo. I've had this one, and I've had another one for fucking like Craigslist shit. What's a fucking lawyer gonna do? You act like I've never talked to a lawyer before. They don't do shit.
Yeesh. Well, at least it can't get any worse. Right? Oh, it can. After these events, more and more people outside of the YouTube community started learning about Jordie, accusing him of being a pedophile. They began sharing clips of him in 2011, when he said it's okay for a 16-year-old and a 40-year-old to have sex because, and I quote, a 16-year-old can make her own damn decision. God damn it, Jordie! Why you gotta be so fucking stupid?
But like even 16 at 45, I'd let that slide because a 16-year-old can make her own damn decisions. I'd cut child pornography off around 12.
I like the rules they have in Jersey and North Carolina.
Whoa.
Yeah,
where would you cut child pornography off on?
No,
12.
The worst doesn't stop there. There are even clips from 2018 where Jordie flirted with 2 underage girls, aged 16 and 17, in a session of Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, so Wings has been playing Rainbow. He has a limited friend group, a limited group of people who will play video games with him at this point, and he likes Rainbow Six, which is a team game. It's pretty important that you have a team. I don't know a ton about it, but it seems to me that there are no people who just go into that game and just play it by themselves. You don't do that, especially if you're playing ranked.
Steep learning curve, it seems, too.
That too, a difficult game to play. So he's been playing with a couple of underage girls.
You about to go and stroke that 2-inch.
You wish Jordie had a 2-inch, son. One thing you don't know about Jordie, since you didn't follow me on my YouTube, you need to ask the chat.
Right? That's not how I respond to a 17-year-old girl, right? What he should have said is like, whoa. Is there a bad guy in the kitchen? You know, someone work shield or whatever, you know, stick to the topic. This is not what you do with underage girls.
More and more videos accusing Jordie of pedophilia began showing up. And that brings us to today. Jordie is still streaming on his channel, but I must warn you, a lot of his streams are very, very depressing. It's hard to root for someone like Jordie who constantly gets themselves into trouble, but also wants to play the victim. He refuses to fix himself and do better in both physical and a mental way. Jordie is a prime example on how not to be a streamer, but rather to be the hand that threw the rock while living in a glass house. His ego being the glass house. I think we can all learn from Jordie on how not to be a streamer and how not to be a human being at all. But what I do say is that I do feel a little bit sorry for this man. It's kind of depressing. It's like watching a puppy being kicked, except the puppy is a grown dog. It doesn't make it any better, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next one. I put a little bit more effort into this video than I did any other one, so yeah, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.